A woman from Samaria came to the well, but it was 12 o'clock. Usually the woman came in the morning or late afternoon. There was a reason for her to just come at 12 o'clock. It was a hot day. She sat at the well, she was trying to get some water when a stranger comes along. Now, Samaritans and Jews don't talk to one another. They even avoid the shadow of the Samaritan. They were the outcasts. And there's a great history behind this. Anyway, Jesus asked her, "Would you do me a favor? I'm thirsty. Can you give me a drink of water?" And she said, "But you're a Jew asking me for water." No. And then a dialogue began. Jesus had a way to reach sinners, and he's got a way to reach you and me. So he asked her for water. And eventually, he tells this lady that he is the water of life. And then Jesus asked her, "Please call your husband." She said, "No, I haven't got one." He said, "You've had 5 and the one that you're living with is not your husband." And then while the dialogue was going on, she pointed upwards and said, "But we've got a temple up there, on the Mount Gerizim. That's the Samaritan temple." So here we are at the ruins of the temple where she pointed to when she spoke to Jesus. Now the Samaritans have got a very interesting history. When Sargon II in 722 captured Samaria and took the Israelites to Assyria and different sites, this place was depopulated, so he transplanted some other people in this area. And there was a mix. And when the temple was rebuilt, the Samaritans didn't like the idea that they were not invited to help build the temple at Jerusalem. So there was a sour relationship between the Samaritans and the Jews. But you know, Jesus was so different. He calls himself the Good Samaritan. The good Lord became the bad Samaritan. And we've got the parable of the Good Samaritan helping a victim that was assaulted. This site is so precious. It has some beautiful lessons of a God who seeks the lost. She was the most wicked woman in Sichar, Shechem, modern Nablus. She came a short distance to get water, but Christ came all the way up in the heat with his 12 grumbling disciples. He sent them away to buy food for just one wicked woman. This is the picture that we have of God seeking to save the lost. If you're lost, if you've been rejected, he is seeking for you and for me. And if he knocks at your heart, like the woman at the well, just open your heart. He'll forgive your past. Maybe it's a terrible past, and give you a new start in life. He will rewrite your history into his history. In Jerusalem, they had a feast called the Feast of the Tabernacles, where the priest would go down to Siloam, fetch water, take it to the altar, and splash it on the altar. This was to commemorate what happened in the desert where Moses spoke to the rock. Times he touched the rock with his rod, and water would gush out. And on that feast, at the last day of the feast, Jesus says to all the people, "If anyone thirst, let him come to me. I have the living water," referring to what happened in the desert during the sojourn with Moses and the people. So the water that flowed in the desert represents the water of Christ's love flowing in the desolate places of our lives to quench our thirst. And like the woman at the well, I was thirsting. That beautiful song, I'm sure you've heard it before. Listen to it again. There's a message for you.